It's College World Series week, and we're talking with UCLA star shortstop Roch Cholowsky, sophomore now. You're finishing up the season, but you're also finishing up the academic season. So heading into College World Series, also had to take a final today. What's that experience like when you have to balance the academics at the most important time of the year?
It's a little stressful. It is nice because we're on the same schedule that we have been, taking classes for the last few months playing baseball. So that is easing, but the tests and the essays is a little stressful. But getting it knocked out and getting finished for the World Series has been nice for me.
Yeah. What class was this in? Was this anything super stressful?
I had English today. I had linguistics yesterday. So I'm all done
Great,
now.
great work, great work. Big day aside from academics for you. You were also named the Perfect Game College Player of the Year. This goes along with accolades like Big Ten Player of the Year, variety of All American, so on teams. When you were, yeah, I don't know, dreaming about what your college career would be like, is this about as kind of where you wanted to be by your sophomore year?
The personal accolades, no. Those just kind of came with it. I thought that that'd be more of like a possibility as a junior. Learn as a freshman, sophomore, and then really take off my junior year. So the personal accolades are kind of surprising to me just because of the how soon it is. Especially after the year I had an all right year last year. But personally, I feel like that I've gotten further than I expected at this point. But the trip to Omaha, I feel like it is the right time. It is something that I did think could happen my sophomore or junior year. More so probably my junior year, but fast tracking maybe we're a year early. Coach said that in an interview this weekend. But I mean, I'm just happy to be in the spot that we're at right now.
Did you just call your freshman year where you were, I think, freshman, all Big Ten and all that, or all Pac-12 and all that stuff, an all right year for your first year in
It
college?
was I finished strong. The first 30 games was a little rough for me. Just getting acclimated to college baseball was definitely different. A lot harder than what I was playing in before high school, summer ball, that stuff. But I did. There was a switch during the year where I felt like I really turned it on and got back to being myself. But the first 30 games was a little tough for me last year.
And you played a lot of third base last year, right?
Yeah, I mostly played third. We had Cody Schreier at short, so I played most of the games at third, and then he went down for a couple weeks, and I filled in at short until he came back.
All right. And then obviously this year, I mean, the kind of storybook from a team perspective is going from last year, really a struggle season in a lot of ways for the team as a whole, to now first, tied for first in the Big Ten. What do you think has been the biggest change for you guys from year to year, and what do you think has made this possible for kind of the team collectively? Obviously, you've improved a lot, but the team collectively.
I just think the buy-in in the fall. We all went through that rough season last year, um, and we kind of made the incoming freshmen feel it that we weren't okay with what happened last year, how it was ran throughout the players. Kind of the approach going into the games, everything was, not up to par. And we made that evident in the fall that we were going to just completely shift what happened last year to, just getting back to what Bruin baseball is. So I think it was the people more so than anything that is responsible for the switch, not just the players, but the coaches, staff, all that. Um, just really wanting to turn it around and, just giving everything that they have just to do that. I think the fall was huge for us, and we hit the ground running once winter ball started, and that's when we really started to see that we could be successful this year.
And what did that look like in practice? Like, was that just more accountability on being on time to things? Was that more dedication to workouts? What was that looking like?
We were a lot more strict on showing up on time to things. We did a lot of team bonding stuff outside of baseball too, a lot more than we did my freshman year. My freshman year, there wasn't really a lot of outside stuff going on, whereas we made it very clear that we wanted to, just build more friendships within the team. Um, and I think that that's helped us a lot. I mean, I love all 39 guys on the roster, and I can go hang out with any single one of those guys now. Whereas last year, it kind of felt like there was groups of people, and now it's just there's a big togetherness factor that we have, and I think that that's helped us a lot.
Do you think so? Obviously, it's been a better year, and even if it had just been a better year, obviously that would be significant improvement. But the last 10, 15 games, you guys have seemed to hit kind of another level. Do you think that's kind of building even more on that kind of togetherness and that connectedness?
Yeah, just going through the season, it benefits us a lot. Dealing with the adversity that we dealt with in the fall, losing our field, um, and then carrying that over to the into the spring where we started off very hot, and then we kind of hit a lull in the middle, as a lot of teams do, and then just trying to rally back for playoff baseball. Just because you play to get to May, and then once you're there, you're playing for your lives basically. So it was just before the Big Ten tournament. It was our last weekend series. We had Illinois and Northwestern, I think, were our last two. And we knew going into those 2 weekends that we had to win a certain amount of games to try have a chance at the Big Ten, just because of losing to SC and Oregon on back-to-back weeks. So the buy-in definitely felt like it was more genuine towards that part of the season. And then once the playoffs started after the Big Ten tournament, it was just like we put ourselves in a really good spot throughout the year, and we want to seize the opportunity that we got.
Got to go back to that because the closing of JRS for a period of time was like that was I'm sure that was just kind of mind blowing for you guys. What was the team reaction to that? How did you guys handle that? And do you think it aided your connectedness? Do you think it made things a little bit harder at the beginning?
I honestly think it helped us. I mean, the initial reaction was, I mean, we were pretty upset about it. It was the first day of school. We had woken up to a text that we had to come to the field to have a team meeting before, our first day of class, something that you look forward to all summer, just getting back to getting in a routine and being at school. And then the news broke, and that same night we went to the beach and had a bonfire with all 40 guys, and just sat around the fire for a couple hours, listened to music, and hung out. And I think that that's what really started, the closeness of this team was that night. Just and then we talked about it all fall too. Like we had gone through something that bad. I mean, we had already been through it. What's the season going to hold for us? Like, we've already been through enough. There's nothing that we can't overcome. Where in the fall, we were busing to high schools and junior colleges and practicing every day, scrimmaging there. We were hitting at the softball cages. We had 3 different temporary locker rooms throughout the fall. Like, just moving around. And the main thing was that we were always together. I mean, it was more time on the bus with the guys. Moving locker rooms was never fun, but I mean, it was a new spot for the guys to hang out. So I think that helped us in the end.
And this is now the program's first trip to Omaha since 2013. Can you tell what that means to Coach Savage and like kind of the guys who've been around a little while longer, and how significant this is for the program to be back in Omaha?
I mean, it gave me a different feeling seeing how excited Coach Savage and Coach Ward were, after the game, because Omaha is all that we talk about in the offseason. It's obviously the main goal is to get there and go just have a chance at winning a national title. But going back and watching the game, and just seeing the celebration, seeing the smile on their faces, getting to talk to them after is very, very special.
I want to talk a little bit about you and kind of your background because people may not know this, but your dad was also a professional player. He played many years in the minor leagues. At what age did you have a glove on your hand? Was it like out of the womb? Was it
Before I could
6 months?
walk, before I could walk, there's pictures of me wearing a glove, throwing a ball. Um, Before I could even stand up. So it was very, very young age that they had started kind of ingraining that into me.
Was that a dream? Like earliest age, were you like, I'm going to be a professional baseball player? Like that's what I'm doing, no matter what.
I wanted to play both. I wanted to play baseball and football.
Uh
That
huh.
was always the dream. And then as I got older, I got more realistic with myself. There's not many Bo Jacksons out there or Deion Sanders who can do both.
No, sadly, they're
Um,
not.
so the dream was to always play professionally in the NFL and the MLB, but I got more realistic with myself as I grew up, and just playing in the big leagues is the end goal now.
Well, and you made a pretty, I would say, it's getting more frequent, but also, guys make different decisions. But you had a decision to make out of high school. Like you could have gone into the draft at that point. If people aren't familiar with the baseball draft rules, you can go right out of high school, or you can wait 3 years of college and then go. Um, you decided on UCLA, and you kind of stuck with that commitment throughout that process. What made you, kind of want to bet on college and making yourself an even better draftable prospect at that point?
It honestly wasn't the draft, going to school for 3 years and getting the chance to make more money in the draft as a 21-year-old versus being 18. it was just the chance to still play team baseball and have a chance to get to the College World Series and play in that. Just because, I mean, I had grown up, I enjoy watching college sports more than I do professional sports, whether it's college football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is. I really enjoy watching college sports. And the College World Series is like the best event for me to watch all year. It's something that I look forward to growing up. And then getting to experience it in person as a fan back in 2023 was one of the best times that I've had around the game of baseball, even just like on a trip. And I got to experience that with my dad, which was pretty cool. And that was kind of the deciding factor for me was coming back from Omaha, experiencing that as a fan. It was just getting a taste of it. It was something that I wanted to get back to as a player. So I mean, it definitely made the decision a lot easier than it seemed. But you know, the end goal is always just to get to Omaha.
With and all right, getting to Omaha this week. What's the schedule like for you guys the rest of this week? When are you traveling? When do you have to be out there? What's the practice schedule? How do you get your mindset right? What's the preparation like for this week?
So we practiced today. Today's been a very long day, just because we're looking forward
Yeah.
to traveling tomorrow. So today's been very very long, as of the last 2 days have been. But practice today. We'll travel tomorrow on Wednesday. Thursday I think's media day, and we'll mix in a practice. And then I also think there's an opening parade. We'll practice on Friday. Get to go catch a couple games. I'll get to see a few of my friends play, which is going to be fun. And then we'll roll out and play
All
on
right.
Saturday.
Well, I think best of luck to you this weekend, and hopefully UCLA brings back some hardware. All right. Have a good
Yes,
one,
sir.
Roch.
Thank you.